Good morning, friends. Hope you're doing well today. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. It is Thursday and it's seed starting day. So I'm going to apologize in advance. I am low energy because I have a migraine today and my medication is barely managing it, but we're pushing through. So update you a little bit. I didn't make it out to the farm yesterday because yesterday was also a migraine day. And so I don't want to push it when I'm like that. Also, my kitty is still not well, and it looks like it's going to be until October before we can get her in for radioactive iodine therapy. So she's going to have to go on medication in the meantime, which is totally fine. So I'm trying to wait on a call from my vet to get that all set up because she's still throwing up and that's not good. So today I'm going to start seeds for customers who have bought a sunflower collection curated kit from me. And we've got lots of fun little sunflowers for that. I don't have pictures of these on these packets, so I will try to insert them here. We've got Orange Hobbit, Lemon Eclair, Golden Cheer, Junior, and Lemon Sorbet. So they'll get 10 seedlings to go in the ground, and they should have wonderful sunflowers for the entire season. And probably they will self-sow if they leave them out for long enough, and then they'll have more sunflowers next year. So today also I am starting my week 16 seeds. Sorry, I needed to sit down. So week 16 seeds. This is not a huge amount of seeds that I'm starting. This is a second succession in most cases, with a few exceptions. So the first thing we're going to do is a new one for me, Atriplex. This one's the copper plume variety, and these seeds are from Johnny's, but these are going to be a really awesome filler flower. Then I have New Celosia, and these do have photos because these are the Floret Originals. So this one, Rose Gold, Lemonada, and Glowing Embers. I do grow the Brain Coral variety of Celosia, but I really prefer the feathery, plumy ones. I just think they're prettier. And also easier to design with, because sometimes the heads on the Brain Coral Celosia get so big that you really can't, and the stems are super thick. They also do this weird morph thing where sometimes their stems, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called cat facing when you see it on the flower, but the stem becomes flat and wide. It's bizarre looking, but it makes it quite hard to put together market bouquets like that. And then nobody really wants that in a wholesale bouquet of, a straight run of those stems. They don't want one of those big fat wide ones. So, okay, next, Baby's Breath, Covent Garden, Gypsophilia. Then I'm starting some Cardinal Climber. This is Ipomia. This is going to go on here at home, but I do have enough seeds. I could put a few of these on the sweet pea trellis at the farm because these can also be used as cuts. And yeah, so I think I'll do that because there's a few places on the sweet pea trellis at the farm, like a little block, it's maybe only a foot wide, that all the plants died or maybe got eaten. Everything else is looking good. But I'll just fill in the holes with some of those seeds. I think that's what I'll do. But I'll need to soak these first. You don't have to, and most of the time I don't. With like nasturtium, etc., I don't soak the seeds. I just put them in the ground. But I think I might soak these just because they'll germinate faster that way. Okay. But this is the time that I start all of my ornamental grasses. Now this year, I am determined to make a decision. So the first, 3-4 years of flower farming, you're growing lots of things, lots of different things, lots of colors, and you can continue to do that, but it really is more helpful if you kind of can pare it down, right? come up with like, these are my primary color palettes. Like let's say you're doing mostly wedding work, then your primary color palettes are going to be very specific. Mostly I'm market bouquets and wholesale, and so I have usually bright colored color palettes. But it really is helpful to kind of narrow it down to certain categories or certain varieties so that you're not growing. You can grow a few varieties as opposed to a lot of varieties. So in the grasses, I have a lot of favorites, and I have been sort of narrowing it down over the years. But I think this year is going to be the final, like, okay, these are the only ones I'm growing because there's so many awesome grasses out there. One of my favorites is called Highlander grass. I'll try to put a photo here for you. This grass is just gorgeous, and like most grasses, easy to grow. So I'm definitely going to keep that one. And then the millets. So Limelight millet, I just transplanted some of that out at the farm. I'm definitely going to start more. I just love this one. It's so beautiful. And then Purple Majesty, that's another one that I definitely will always grow. Then I have a few others here that I'll try one more time. I don't think that they're going to stick around. I don't think these are going to be ones that I continue to grow. Panicum elegans, sprinkles. So not frosted explosion grass, but similar. I'll go on and sow some of those since I have the seed, but I don't think those are going to be some I keep in my repertoire. Another one, Setaria italica, red jewel. And then I have green drops, which is one I think I'll continue to keep. That one's really pretty. We have feather top, which is very similar to one of my other favorites, bunny tails. So feather top is Pennisetum villosum, and bunny tails, Laguris ovatus. Bunny tails is awesome because it's like velvet, and there's a couple different harvest stages with bunny tails. I just really love them. They look, well, here's a line drawing, but for a lot of folks though, it's hard to get long stems on bunny tails, and I have found that I have to space them just right. It's about 4 inches apart because then they can compete a little bit for reaching to the light, and that helps them have a little bit longer stems. But bunny tails is kind of known for having short stems, and that just doesn't really work for bouquet work. It's fine for vase work and stuff, but you know, having longer stems is much better. And then so that's it for the grasses. But we have one other here that is not a grass, but Palinum paniculatum limon. And you can see in this photo, it's not really a grass, but it's got stems of these tiny berries. And it's very ephemeral, very, like you can kind of barely see them, but they're there. It's a really cool effect. I grew this last year. Only one of the plants survived transplant, and I didn't, I planted it in early spring, and I didn't harvest from it until like August. So it was a very long season. So I'll try it again this year. We'll see what happens. It might be the kind of thing that is better off fall planted. Although it doesn't look like it really enjoys frost, so I'd have to really protect it. I don't know, we'll see. I do like it, but I'm getting to the point where if something is a lot of effort and a lot of work, I don't have the time to put into that. So give it one more year. So then I have a bag of seeds here. This is Saponaria. This is the Beauty Mix, and these are not going to be row crops. This is going to go in a second pollinator patch bed that I haven't even opened yet. So I'm not sure when I'll be planting these, but that's the plan for those. Now we're moving on to another round of zinnias, and I have quite a few here. So the first one is Benary's Giant Wine. Then we have Deep Red. And there's actually a difference. The wine has more purplish values to it, and the Deep Red is more of like, has a little bit more orange in it. So it's more on the red side than the violet side. Then we have Cactus Flowered Mix. This is really cool. They look very different for zinnias. They're really fun. And this is a mix, so it produces lots of nice fun stuff. More Oklahoma. This one's the ivory color. Those are just great to pop in bouquets because they're much smaller heads and they work. They're really fun. And then I have 3 of the, so I've already started and transplanted 2 of the Floret Original zinnias. I can't remember which 2 they were, but that was in the first succession. So here's 3 more. We have Alpenglow, Dawn Creek Pastels, and Golden Hour. So those are going to be gorgeous. And those I will save seed from. So the Floret Original seeds are costly. They're expensive. But there are a number of reasons for that. One, the amount of, if you ever want to know what goes into seed breeding, check out some of the information that she's got online. It's years and years and years of work, lots and lots of person hours, lots of trial and error, and a lot of investment in equipment because in order to breed things that like to cross-pollinate, you have to have them completely isolated. So they have these fly-solation high tunnels that are only one variety and sealed shut, and they have to pollinate them by flies. The seed has to be tested over many generations to make sure that it comes true. So that means when you get a packet of the seed, it's exactly what it says it's going to be. And that takes multiple generations of the plant, of planting this to make sure that it comes out true. But the other thing is, her goal is to get these seeds into the hands of people and let you save your own seeds so that you only ever need to buy from them one time. So, and she has all kinds of videos on how do you save seed from dahlias or celosia or whatever. So this is like she's doing everything she can to educate everyone. And so, yes, they are costly, and it's definitely an investment. But if you play your cards right, it's a one-time investment. So in my case, I will harvest most of them, but I'll leave probably 10 to 15 flowers on each variety, let it completely dry out on the plant and go to seed. Then I'll harvest that seed, dry it some more, package it up, and I'll be able to use it next year. And because these have been bred so well, what I have there should be true to that seed. So that's kind of I know that's an aside, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that because I have seen a lot of commentary online about how expensive those seeds are. And, the other reason is they're not this gigantic seed operation with, 200 employees and, 500 greenhouses where they're they're growing this stuff. They're a very small operation. And, I think it's amazing what they've done. So I do feel very fortunate that I can, as a business, invest in a handful of packets of seeds for that. But I am going to do my work on my end and save those seeds so that is a one-time investment. Okay, so I'm going to get started filling these pots. These are the little cow pots. These are going to be for the sunflower collection. It's only 10 of them. But I'm going to go on and get those set up. Sunflowers really don't like to be transplanted too much. They're better direct sown. So in this case, like I start all my sunflowers from seed in trays at the beginning of the season because it's just too cold for them to germinate out in the field. But the ones that I direct sow tend to be taller and just stronger than the ones that I transplant. So just throwing that out there. Anyway, these can go directly into the ground. The customer doesn't have to take them out. There's other companies that do this, but this is the brand, Cow Pots. So this is literally composted cow manure. And as I've said before, does not smell. It's peat-free, which is really important to me. I try to do all of my soil and everything peat-free. So it's, completely biodegradable. And there's an endless supply of the materials to make these things. So, I really like using these. And because they're biodegradable, the customer can plant these directly in the ground. And basically this will just break down over the course of the season. and it's a fertilizer as well because it's well-aged cow manure. So it just is a nice way to send my seedlings out where I'm not adding plastic to the environment. I have enough plastic here. It's not single-use plastic. I will use it until it dies. And the plastic that I have invested in is from Farmer's Friend, as well as Epic Gardening. Their seed trays, and 6-packs and stuff. Those plastics are so hard and thick. I'm going to have them for a very long time. Plus, I keep them out of direct sun, all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to do my part to not add to the plastic disaster that we have. It's really hard in gardening and farming because it seems like that is the material of choice for pretty much everybody. And I'm trying to get away from that, just like lots of other folks are. Okay, so I'm going to go in and get these sunflowers sown, and then I'll have to set up a tray and label it to get all these other seeds sown. It's not actually that many seeds that I have to sow today. I might be able to fit everything on a single tray. We'll see. So while I'm making these soil blocks, I just wanted to throw something out there that I'm fortunate that I'm at a point now in my business that I can afford to buy some of these things for seed starting and all that kind of stuff. You don't need that. For almost my entire life, and I'm 53 years old, all of my gardening, all of my seed starting has taken place in yogurt containers and the styrofoam trays that chicken and stuff comes on, and plastic cups, solo cups and all that kind of stuff. Whatever I had around, that's what I started seeds in. I would get my seeds anywhere I could. So if that meant Walgreens or Home Depot, that's where I got my seeds. And all those plants were just great. Not a thing wrong with them. So I don't want there to be a perception that you're only a real gardener or farmer if you have a high tunnel or your seeds come from an expensive supplier, or you can afford to buy these expensive trays to grow all your seedlings in and all that kind of stuff. You don't need that stuff. You can start seeds, stick them in a sunny south-facing window or out on your apartment balcony, or you can even just start them in a pot. Get a, old pot or an old bowl, as long as you can put some drainage holes in it. Put some soil in it, sprinkle some seeds on top. It doesn't have to be fancy. The plants just want good soil and water and air and sunlight and some care from you. Beyond that, they're just going to do what they're going to do. Don't complicate it. And please don't feel like you're not a real gardener or a real farmer if you don't have all those things. It's taken a lot of years to get to the point where I do have these things. And sometimes I try new things, and the old way, the simpler way, the less expensive way is the better way. well, that's it. Almost 600 seedlings sown, 600 seeds sown. We've got the grasses and the celosia and stuff like that up here. This is on a seedling heat mat. They will germinate pretty quickly because it's warm in here. And then we've got the zinnias and atriplex and some other stuff down there. And then this is a tray of saponaria. I have no idea what this is going to be like. I haven't ever grown it before. And then back here is chamomile. I really need a bunch of chamomile, so I just went ahead and sowed 40 blocks of chamomile. So what I still need to do is direct sow sunflowers at the farm, but we'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow I should feel up to being out there and physically working. And so I'm looking forward to going back out there, finishing the dahlia bed, lining it, getting the tubers in the ground, and we'll be done with that project. And then I can move on to other things. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful time in your gardens, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.